All right, today we're diving into something incredibly practical, something you hope you'll never need, but you'll be so glad you know it if you do. How to navigate a hospital visit in Morocco using the local dialect, Darija.
So picture this. You're having the trip of a lifetime in Morocco, and then boom, you start feeling really unwell. It's a super stressful situation, right? And it gets a whole lot worse when you can't communicate. Well, think of this as your personal pocket guide for that exact scenario, to make sure you get the help you need fast.
Okay, so let's start our little patient journey right at the beginning, the second you walk through those hospital doors. We're going to cover the absolute first words you'll need to know.
Okay, first things first. The word for hospital in Morocco, it's probably not what you think. It's not the standard Arabic mustashfa. Instead, you're going to hear sbitar. And what's so cool about this is where it comes from. It's derived directly from the French l'hôpital. This is just a perfect little window into how Darija is this amazing, unique blend of different languages.
Okay, so you're at the reception desk. This is probably the most crucial phrase you're going to need. Forget the formal Arabic you might have studied. What you really need to say is Barit nshuf tabib. Let's break that down. Barit is I want. Nshuf means to see. And tabib is the doctor. See? Simple, direct, and they'll know exactly what you need.
All right, let's move on to the next logical step. You've told them why you're there. Now you've got to actually get that appointment locked in.
So this basically lays out a typical back and forth you'd have at the desk. They're probably going to ask you, wash on de rendezvous? And hey, there's that French influence again. Rendezvous for appointment. Your answer is super similar. Brit nachod rendezvous. I want to make an appointment. Then, don't be surprised if they ask about la mutuelle. Yep, another French word, which is your health insurance. Just knowing these three little steps will get you through that whole first conversation.
And then, after what might feel like a bit of a wait, you'll hear these magic words. Tibib Mustaidi Shufik. This is what you've been waiting for. It means the doctor is ready to see you now. That is your cue to head on in.
All right, now we get to the really important part. Actually telling the doctor what's wrong. This is where having the right words is, absolutely crucial.
So, the doctor probably won't ask some formal textbook question like, what is the problem? What you're much more likely to hear is the very direct, very common, ashtarek. Literally, it means, what hurts you? It gets right to the heart of the matter, and now you'll know exactly what they're asking.
So how do you answer ashdarek? Well, here are some of the big ones. If you have a fever, you'll say fiaskhana. Got a headache? That's andis da. For a specific pain, like your back, it's kaidorni daher, or for your chest, kaidorni sadri. And if you're feeling nauseous, you'd say kanhisbradan. These phrases right here are your first line of defense for explaining what's going on.
Let's cover a few more common problems, just in case. If your joints are hurting, you'd say mifasli kaidoruni. For any digestive issues, fia el ishal is for diarrhea, and fia el gabd is for constipation. And if you've got a really bad sore throat, maybe tonsillitis, you can say fia al khalakim. But what if it's a chronic condition you already have? This is super important. You can use one of two words here. Fia, which kind of means I have in me, or endi, which is more like I have. Honestly, both work just fine. So you could say fia dika if you have asthma, or endi sukar for diabetes. This is absolutely vital information for the doctor to have.
And here's another great example of just how practical and to-the-point Darija is. I mean, sure, there's a formal way to say, I have difficulty breathing, but what you'll actually hear and what you should say is way simpler. Makan kadarsh nitnafis mizyan. It just means, I can't breathe well. And that same structure works for sleep problems too. Mankan kadarsh nes, I can't sleep. It's all about simple, effective communication.
Okay, so you've explained your main symptoms. Now it's the doctor's turn. They're definitely going to have some follow-up questions, so let's get you ready for those.
Think of this table as your ultimate cheat sheet. The doctor is almost guaranteed to ask, "Shhal hedi wintakat his haka," which means, how long have you been feeling like this? They'll also need to know about allergies, so listen for wash andakshi hasasiya men shidwa. And finally, wash kata hot shidwa asks if you're taking any other medication. Just being ready for these three questions will make everything go so much smoother.
And here is a really critical response. If you have an allergy, you'll say, endi hasasiya men, and then just name the medicine. And would you look at that, another French loan word right when we need it, les antibiotiques. It's amazing how they pop up. Seriously, knowing this one sentence could literally be a lifesaver.
So, there you have it. We've gone through the whole process, right from walking in the door to answering the doctor's most important questions. Let's do a super quick recap of the absolute essentials you need to remember.
Okay, this is your Darija Hospital toolkit. First, remember Spital for hospital and Brittenschuft Bib to get seen. For your symptoms, you'll use either Fia or Andi. Listen for that key question from the doctor, Ash Darek. And remember to keep an ear out for those super helpful French loanwords like rendezvous and les antibiotiques. Finally, just be ready to answer questions about allergies and how long you've been feeling sick. You can totally do this.
You know, just knowing that you can handle a situation like this, it takes a massive weight off your shoulders when you're traveling. It gives you this incredible confidence to explore more, to go a little further off the beaten path, and just fully immerse yourself. So with all this new knowledge tucked away in your back pocket, the only question left is, what amazing Moroccan adventure are you going to have next?